Hello, everyone. It's Lorna Wilson, quantum healer and shamanic practitioner. I'm going to do a series of short videos to help you to understand more about yourself and life and how consciousness works and impacts on our life. So there are three things, primary things that I'd like you to hold on to in the back of your mind as a thought. The first thing is that everything is connected to something else. Therefore, things don't happen in our life randomly. They have their connections with something else. The second thing is that every single thing you think about your personality or as your personality is simply not true. They are coping strategies that you picked up along the way. The third thing that I'd like you to hold on to as a thought is that things do not happen for a reason, because that is very disempowering. It simply means that we can never fully have control of our life if things can happen for a reason outside of our control that we would know nothing about. So imagine that as consciousness, and consciousness really encapsulates the idea of what we might call a soul, or ourselves as light, or really any label that we give that inner spiritual essence that we are. Scientifically, what we know of it as is its consciousness. And consciousness is within everything. It's in animals, plant, nature. All of life is filled with consciousness. And what consciousness is, they are energy streams of information. Some might call them fields of information. Some might think of them as streams, but all of the consciousness that we are connected to expresses itself through the forms of stories. Whether they're stories we tell ourselves, stories that are the family patterns, or stories that we create about ourselves through beliefs of things that have occurred through our experiences. So consciousness as energy streams all carry information. So I like to think in terms of what Tesla said, which is, for all of creation, think of it as vibration, energy, and frequency. So all of our feelings, thoughts, and reality can be broken down to these three things: energy, vibration, and frequencies. So our thoughts hold a vibration that affects our energy, and therefore we're plugged into or connected or resonate with different frequencies. In our early life, in fact, from the time we're born until perhaps in our mid-30s, we're constantly reacting to life. As children, we're at the mercy of the adults in our life. That can be good or not so good. And so what it does is it makes us react. We begin that reaction from the moment we're in the womb, from conception. And that reaction is always going to be based around what is going on in mother's life, because when we're in the womb, we're cooked in a soup of her emotions. Father is also significant because as an incoming soul, we're aware of what's going on between our parents within their relationship, but primarily we are saturated in mother's emotions. So imagine for a moment that mother is very sad because maybe she's close to her dad and he died while she was pregnant or just before, and so she's grieving. So we're going to be that baby that is in the womb, completely saturated in grief, and we're going to start reacting and creating beliefs around our system based on that. Another example, which is a very popular one actually, is a female that's in the womb and she can feel her mother stressing about her being a boy because perhaps culturally they want a boy, or maybe the eldest child, they want a boy, or whatever reason. What that's going to do is that's going to make the fetus in the womb begin to reject herself because she's got the wrong body. She can feel mother's tension and stresses around her having the right body, which she doesn't have. And so in the womb, that fetus will start, that soul will start disregarding their body. They'll actually start disconnecting from it. They'll actually start disliking it because it's the wrong one. And they'll also, over time, begin to reject their mother because in their mind, they feel that their mother is rejecting them. And so that sets in motion beliefs about themselves, beliefs about their body, and beliefs about the life that they're coming into. The final rejection might be when the baby's born and everyone's disappointed it's a girl and not a boy. So that final rejection will also set things in motion. And so the perception and the belief of that child will constantly be, if I were more masculine, if I were more boyish. This is how often you have tomboys created. Or what will happen is because that child feels mother's rejected them, they've rejected mother. And so this will be the child that mother just cannot understand why my baby doesn't warm to me. She's fine when others are holding her or she's being babysat with others, but somehow this child and I just don't bond. And what happens in our early stages, if we do not bond to love, we will bond to something else. So I'm going to leave you with that thought. And as I do more videos on this topic, I'm going to elaborate more so that you can begin to demystify your life. You can begin to understand how and why your soul would have chosen the particular experiences that you have. And one other thing that I'd like to leave you with is that even though a fetus might be in the womb or a child might seem like they're a toddler or young, the soul within is as whole as a soul that is 100 and something years old, because there is no age when it comes to souls. What happens is with children, perhaps they don't have the vocabulary to articulate their feelings or self-expression, but the soul awareness within that fetus is as ancient as all other souls. So I'll leave you with that little tidbit for today. And as mentioned, over the next while, I'm going to add more.